really given me as a teacher, guitar teacher, a framework that I know works. It's a successful method.
Okay.
But I've seen students go from nowhere to being able to play the songs that they want to play in the space of a couple of years, because that the program gives the students like a framework.
And how's that helped you as a teacher?
It's helped me because for starters, I don't have to prepare lessons each week, so I've got my own time to do what I want to do. But also, it's I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
And it's given me a chance to also retain students more. I find that it's a winning formula for student retention.
So it's been a good move for your business-wise?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I'd have the same success.
So when did you start? How long ago did you start?
I started May last year, May 2010.
Okay, and how many students have you managed to?
36.
You got 36 students in 1 year. So your business is booming.
Yeah,
really.
I've done a lot of work. Followed because I did work with G4 before that. And I learned a lot about marketing and how to build a business.
Yep.
Which I find that information now for me is valuable. So
okay, great.
It's really
Excellent.
good.
So you'd recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. I think you jump the cube.
Yep.
For lack of a better. You kind of gain a whole lot of knowledge about how to run a business, a successful guitar teaching business.
Right.
Where instead of learning it yourself, like learning the lessons, over a 5-10 year period, you can learn them much quicker through the information that you have available to you. And David's always there and to ask questions, because I learn a lot.
G4 guitar.
I've been with G4 Guitar for nearly 2 years. Running Revolution guitars for just over 1 year.
Okay. And are you finding it's working for you? Is it worth the money that you pay?
Most definitely, yeah. Yep. It works on many different levels for me. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what appealed to me when I first joined.
Yep. So what are some of the ways it works for you? What's one way?
Well, initially, the main attraction to me was the fact that I had a systemised teaching method.
Yep.
I knew how to play guitar, I knew how to play a bunch of different instruments, but teaching it and actually passing on the knowledge was the area that I found most difficult. Right,
okay. So it gave you a kind of a system.
It gave me a system, that I could be confident with and know and understand.
Yep.
And it was also the same sort of ability to pass that on to my students, where I know that they will understand it as well.
Okay, so it's working for your students?
Most definitely, yeah. Every single one of my students is on the G4 guitar method.
Yep,
yeah.
and they're actually improving at a reasonable rate.
Some of my students that have been with me for nearly 2 years are playing music quite well now, and they understand the concepts of music and the structure of songs.
And do the students enjoy it, like you being on the method?
The students love it because they're getting something substantial in their hands. They're getting a folder with printed material.
Yeah.
It's easy to read. It's not my bad handwriting scribbled on an A4 piece of paper.
Yep.
It's structured. They've got goals set in place, and they know where they're going.
Okay, good.
That's the difference.
And as a business, so operating your business, do you get students through it? Does it help you build numbers?
Yeah, the referrals I get through the G4 guitar method have worked quite well as well.
Yep.
It's brilliant being part of the bigger picture as one little music teacher in Sydney.
Yep.
So it helps me stand out.
Yep. So it gives you kind of that advantage over the competition.
Yeah, and it also helps me build my reputation as a more accomplished teacher, rather than being little old me stuck in a suburb somewhere.
And do they give you any support? Does G4 help you?
G4 Guitars offers a great deal of support. Actually, I've been quite comfortable, I should say, in asking any questions I've ever had in regards to small problems that have come up, questions that a student may have asked me, or even my own personal business questions that have allowed me to overcome certain hurdles in growing my music school.
Yeah, and you had a lot of business experience before you came, right?
I've had over 10 years of experience running my own IT business. It was quite successful.
Okay.
Had over 500 customers.
Yep.
And working really well.
Yep.
But it just proves that you can never have too much business experience, and it's always a learning.
So even though you've got lots of experience, you still find it's value to you.
Always value, and even if you come away with one thing, it's always been worth it.
Right. Excellent. All right. Any last words?
Look, just say thank you. And always really appreciate the support, and I look forward to many more years of it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stefano.
No problem. Thank you.
Out there.
I started from my own house
Yep.
in late 2009, September, August at the earliest. And then about a year later, I started renting a shop in Penrith, a retail store, which I'm using as a teaching studio.
Yep.
So altogether, it's been about 2.5 years now.
2.5 years. Okay.
Well, actually, no. So it was just over 2 years. Yeah.
All right. And you started from no, you had no students.
No students. Yeah.
Zero. Okay. And when you started, you came in as a G4 guitar teacher right from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, before I was teaching for myself, I
Yep.
was working for G4 Guitar Schools as a teacher for
Okay.
about would have been about, I guess, a year and a half or something.
Okay.
And I still remained as a teacher in G4 Guitar Schools at the time while I was building up my own business. Yeah.
Okay. So you got some training
Yeah,
at that time.
definitely had a lot of training.
And did you find that valuable, the training?
Definitely, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the sort of teaching techniques that I learnt, and also just the business advice, just from being in there, seeing how the business was run, because it was at the time a much larger sort of school and everything.
Yep.
So seeing how everything was run, the structure, the organisation of it all, helped me to come up with it gave me a template to work with. Yeah.
Okay. So you now have how many students have you got?
It's around about 37 students. Some of them I booked in, that is. Like I've got a couple of them haven't started yet, but I've fluctuated around about 35 students for the last 6 months or so.
Okay, which is, considering you had no students in 2 years, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's paying the bills.
It's paying the bills, yeah. And so, and it's steady growing, right? It's still growing. Okay.
It's not going backwards.
Not going backwards. Okay, good. So, and look, G4 charges more than most teachers. It's a bit more expensive than the average.
Yeah, it does charge slightly higher. But the program that is offered by a G4 teacher and the skills that a G4 teacher has, because of the way they are able to network with other G4 teachers, is so different and so far above the other programs that are out there by non-G4 teachers. So the method is so different that you couldn't really compare what a G4 gives, what a G4 teacher gives to what a general teacher gives.
So it gives you an advantage,
yeah,
a big advantage.
Gives you advantage, yeah,
Right.
G4 advantage.
Okay, excellent, good. So, what would you say to another teacher who is considering becoming a G4 teacher?
If I was another teacher, I'd look around. Okay, look around on the internet. Find out what information you can find on actually teaching the guitar, coming up with your own method, and this kind of thing. You will find a lot of good information out there. But a lot of it it's not very well organised. It's not as concise. Whereas the G4 guitar method gives you that ability to have a structured method where you don't have to prepare lessons. Once you learn to use the method, you can just, it takes a few months to sort of, there's a steep learning curve, but once you're in the swing of it, it becomes very natural for you to use it.
Okay.
Whereas if you spend time trying to come up with your own method, which is what a lot of other websites and a lot of books will encourage you to do, to come up with your own sort of way, it's going to take a lot of testing, a lot of experimentation. You're going to have a lot of dropouts and so forth. So you're going to spend at least a few years just coming up with your own method and coming up with your own style. Whereas if you just follow what you know is proven using the G4 method, then you guarantee a certain amount of success.
So it's a time saver, and does it work? Like the students actually get results?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got a lot of where my business is in the main street of Penrith. I'm literally almost right next door to another guitar school that's been operating for years.
Right.
And next to that, there's the Penrith Conservatorium, which is fairly upper class. And then there's another guitar school down the road. So I'm right in amongst music schools that have been operating for a lot longer, over 10 years, some of them. And I've never had any problems getting students at this stage. And I'm also getting a lot of students from those other music schools coming to me, wanting to try out this G4 guitar method. And I've got one who came to me almost 2 years ago, and he's still with me today, and he loves what he's done with the G4 guitar method after being with the school next to me for.
I understand one of your students has become a teacher as well now, a G4 teacher.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was very keen. He really liked the way the G4 method was structured. and he was practicing anywhere between half an hour to 4 hours a day.
Yep.
And within about 10 months, he went through the whole program, which generally takes about 2 years for an absolute beginner. And yeah, I started giving him a few tips on teaching, referred him to G4 guitar schools, and now they've employed him also as a teacher. So he's looking forward to a good career as a teacher.
So there's the proof. Yeah, it works.
Definitely.
Excellent. Okay, any final words for the guys out there?
Yeah, just if you're thinking about it, do your research. As I said, because there is a lot of information out there.
Yep.
But you won't find, you will find that the G4 guitar method is a lot more structured, and it's just a lot more concise in the way that it's laid out, and you'll find it easier to start your own, or to kickstart your own teaching.
Excellent. Thanks, Michael, for your time.
No worries.
Okay. How long have you been teaching?
Been with the network for 2 years now. It's coming up 2 years.
Yep. And had you done anything with G4 prior to becoming a network member?
Yes, I was working as an employee for G4, working in other guitar schools, Strathfield particularly, for a year or two before that.
Okay, and you've done teaching even before G4? Had you done any teaching?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. So when you joined G4, you were given some training, were you? Yep.
Yeah, a lot of training at first. Yeah. It was.
Yep. And did you think that was helpful at all?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We went through. I mean, what happened the first time I did anything actually after the first interview was go and spend a couple of nights just sitting in and watching Brendan teach.
Okay. Yep.
Gordon, and then on the second or third night of doing that, we just started teaching a couple of students myself.
Yep.
And in the meantime, I was in touch with David.
Yep.
Learning, being emailed a lot of stuff, and I actually had a whole folder of stuff to go through and a whole bunch of stuff on the net. There was no shortage of training materials.
Yep. Yep. So you had plenty of materials to work through, and plenty of feedback and support.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So the training was obviously very beneficial.
Training was top class. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. So when you then went out on your own, what was the motivation and to actually do it by yourself, or to do it as a G4 Guitar Network member?
Lifestyle mostly, I guess.
Okay.
Just being able to work close to home.
Yep.
And be a little bit flexible.
So I understand you're a father, so you want to spend time with your boy.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So very handy in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And have you found, as a member, that it's been beneficial to you to be part of a network, or opposed to just doing it yourself?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. And what are some of the benefits of being a part of a network?
Just the brainstorming between the whole lot of us.
Yep.
And also obviously marketing as well.
Yep. So you obviously get inquiries, and you can build up your students. Yep.
Yeah. But I think one of the biggest things is having a group of people that always sort of feeding off each other with ideas and things. Yeah.
So you get plenty of support from the network. Yep.
Yeah.
And the method itself, how do you find that? Does it make your life easier, or what's
definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It'll be so much harder without any sort of structured method. Like, as other teachers have mentioned already, it's just not having a program lessons every week and think about. Everyone's got a checklist.
Yep.
So I make notes during my lessons, but they're very minimal. Most of on my actual piece of paper. Most of the notes are on the students' checklists.
Yep.
And in their folders, and I know when they come in exactly where they're up to.